I will talk to you. We will start in chapter 5, ecosystems. We will start with lesson 1, what are ecosystems? Yes. First of all, I think that you've heard this word before, maybe in grade 3. Yes, ecosystem. What I mean with the word ecosystem? Ecosystem includes all the living and non-living things in an environment and the different ways they interact. First, let's write the definition, then I'm going to explain it to you in details. Ecosystem. All the living and non-living things in an environment and the many ways they interact and the many ways they interact. I will draw for you an ecosystem and explain for you what are the living and non-living things. Here we have a lake. We have fish in this lake. And we have a tree. Palm tree. And we have sunflower. And another tree. And of course, our beautiful and lovely sun. And let's draw some living things. The grass. Yes, it's just a quick drawing. Yes. And a rabbit. Yes. And the rabbit, for example. And let's imagine that we have a rock here. Yes. So, what are the living and non-living things here? First things, living things include animals, plants, and humans. Animals, plants, and humans. So, this tree is a living thing. It's a living thing. Rabbit is a living thing. So, deer, it's a living thing. And the grass, flowers, palm trees are all examples. Even the fish in the lake here are examples of living things. So, where's the non-living things? Actually, the non-living things include the air, these animals breathe, and the sun, light, it's also a non-living thing. The water of the lake is a non-living thing, and even the soil that plants grow on it is an example of non-living things. So, ecosystem, I told you before, let's read it once again. Ecosystem is all the living and non-living things in an environment and the many ways they interact. How do these living and non-living things interact with each other? You can see here's a small deer, it's eating the grass. That's right. So it's an example of interaction between living and non-living things. What is deer breathe? What is rabbit breathe? They are breathing air. Air is an example of non-living things. That fish, it's a living thing, and it swim in water. Water is a non-living thing. So it's also an example. This tree and flowers and grasses, they all need the sunlight to grow. So it's also an example of interaction between living and non-living things. So I hope you understand, even the rock here, it's an example of a non-living thing. And the soil that plants grow on it. So Here I illustrate for you in a simple way what are examples of living things in an ecosystem and how they interact with each other. That is the main idea of ecosystem and its parts. Okay, now you understand what I mean with ecosystem. I will say it once again. Ecosystems are all the living and non-living things in an environment and the different ways they interact. An ecosystem could be small, like a park that you go on the weekend, and it could be large, like ocean, like desert, like a great forest. They all are examples of ecosystems. Today I will continue talking to you about ecosystems and some kinds of ecosystems, in North America especially. Ecosystems. The first example of ecosystem I will talk to you about tundra. Tundra. What is that tundra? Tundra, it's an example, it's an ecosystem. It's a very, very cold region. It's the coldest ecosystem, by the way. Tundra includes the ground beneath the surface, it's frozen. In tundra, the ground beneath the surface, it's frozen. And examples of living things that you can find in tundra, like Arctic foxes, like caribou, seals, are examples of living things that you can find in tundra. Another example of ecosystem like rainforest. Rainforest. Not all rainforests are tropical actually, not all the rainforests are hot. There's some rainforests in North America. They are mild. The weather there is moderated. It's between 18 degrees Celsius to 25 in the morning. So it's not very hot and it's not very cold. Examples of living things that you can find in the rainforest like the spotted owl and what else like Douglas fir tree. They are examples of living things that you can find in a rainforest. The third ecosystem I will talk to you about is desert. Every one of you know desert. And desert, if I tell you what do you know about desert, the first word you tell me it's hot and dry. That's why desert it's the driest ecosystem. The driest ecosystems. Examples of living things that you can find in desert could be like scorpions, snakes, and lizards. They all are examples of living things that you can find in desert. Now I'll talk to you about the fourth ecosystem. Grass land. Yes, from its word. It's a land covered with grasses. Grassland includes some animals, just like bison, like grasshopper. See, all are examples of living things that you can find in grassland. The fifth ecosystem, wetland. Yes, wetland. It's an ecosystem mostly covered with water. Examples that you can find, examples of living things that you can find in wetland could be like raccoons and insects and alligators. Raccoons, insects, and alligators are examples of living things that you can find in wetland. Yes. Now I will be illustrated examples of ecosystem: tundra, rainforest, desert, grassland, and wetland. So now you understand everything I think about ecosystem. Let's talk to you about a definition called habitat. Habitat. What I mean is the word habitat. Habitat, you can say it's an address. For example, if I ask you, where are you living? For example, you tell me I'm living in Riyadh, I'm living in Jeddah, I'm living in Mecca. For example, wherever you are. Actually, where is your address? You tell me that you are living in a specific area, building number 2, and so on. So habitat, I can say it's the address. It's the area or place where an organism lives. The area or place where an organism lives. Area or where an organism lives. It's called habitat. Another definition I want you to know, it's called population. It's called what? Population. What I mean with the word population? Maybe you heard before. If I told you what is the population of Saudi Arabia, for example, what is the population of Egypt? And tell me, for example, it's 100 million. Yes, population is the number of all the members of one species in an area. All the members of one species in an ecosystem. For example, let's write the definition first. Population, all the members of one species. In an area. For example, I have here an area. I'll draw just like O, it is the number of deer. X is the number of lions. So, how many deer in this area? Let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here I have the population of deer in this area. It's a 5. And I told you X refers to lions. So what is the population of lions in this area, this specific area? Let's count it. 1, 2. So the population of lions in this area, it will be 2. And here we get to the end of our session. I'm expecting you all to understand it well. And see you next week. Goodbye.